our video lessons for today on this Thursday. I was so happy to see you guys all on Zoom this morning, and now I'm ready to get started with our work. So up first, like always, is reading. And this week, we have been talking about becoming decoding detectives. Decoding detectives. I'm going to ask you again, what does it mean when we are decoding detectives when we read? Do you remember? Finger on my brain. Don't bother me. I'm thinking. What does it mean to be a decoding detective? It means we are looking for clues in everything we read. It means that when we find these clues, they will tell us how to pronounce and read the words. We just have to take the time and be careful to look out for these clues as a decoding detective. And what's the clue we have been focusing on this week? It has to do with our vowels. We know vowels are tricky and they can say multiple sounds. So this week, we've been working with what we call the short sound. So the vowels have multiple sounds, and one of those is the short sound. So to remind ourselves the clue that we have been working on this week, we're going to do one of the mirror words we did on Monday. So are you ready? Here we go. Mirror words, vowels, say their short sound when they're closed in. Vowels, say their short sound when they're closed in. One more time, vowels, say their short sound when they're closed in. Mirrors down. Awesome job. That is the clue we have been working with. When our vowels are closed, we know they're going to say their short sound. So let's try out that knowledge with a silly word. Just like we've been practicing, when we see this word, we see there's a vowel, which is super important. And we see that the clue is the consonant is acting as that door to close in the vowel. So, since we know that, the vowel is going to say its short sound. And use short sound is like umbrella. So let's read this word. T-u-d, tud, tud. That's a silly word, but we know we read it correctly because we used our decoding detective skills. Okay, Super Scholars, before we check out our new learning goal for today, we're going to go down to the desk and practice with our flashcards. We're going to go a little faster today, so get ready. Okay, we're down at the desk, so that means it's flashcard time. So today, I have taken away the picture clues, so all we're going to say is the letter name and the letter sound. Eventually, we're going to only say the sound, but today we're going to practice by saying the letter name and the sound. You're going to say it with me, so when a flashcard pops up, all together we'll say the name and then the sound. Okay, here we go. A, E, I, O, U, M, You're saying it with me. N, J, J. K, K. B, B. G, G. C, K. D, D. F, T, T. Awesome. Good job with those flashcards. Let's go back up to the board and use that knowledge. Okay, welcome back up on the board. Awesome job doing your flashcards. And now let's check out our new learning target. So for today, our goal is I can use my knowledge of short vowel sounds to accurately read a paragraph. There's some big words in there, so I'm going to read it one more time. I can use my knowledge of short vowel sounds to accurately read a paragraph. So today, our job is we're going to use knowledge that we already have, which is how to find our short vowel sounds. And we're going to use our past knowledge to do something new, which is to read a paragraph. A paragraph is a group of sentences all together that talk about a similar topic. And a key word I want you to notice is the word accurately. Can you say that with me? Accurately. One more time. Accurately. That might be a new word. Accurately means correctly, to do something how it's supposed to be done. Our goal is always to read the words like they're meant to be read so we can understand their meaning. So when we use our knowledge of phonics and how words are said, we can correctly read the paragraph accurately. And that is going to be our goal today. It's okay if we read it slowly at first. We are just focusing on that we are reading every word correctly by being decoding detectives. So that's our goal, to get the words correctly even if it might be a little slower. So to do that today, you are going to use this little paragraph packet that was in your envelope the last Friday we had pickup. Mine is much bigger than yours, but I gave you guys a few of these. So the packet in your envelope will say the cat and the rat, and it will have a little rat. So make sure you find this so you can follow along today and use it for your video later. So we're going to be working with the paragraphs in this packet. But before we start reading the paragraphs, we need to talk about some extra tips that happen when we read paragraphs. Paragraphs are many sentences, they're much more words, so we need to learn how to read them properly. First up is we need to pause for periods. The periods are the dots at the end of the sentences. When we see a period, that's our clue to take a breath and a quick pause before we move on to the next sentence. It's not long, but it's a little quick pause because the writer has ended their thought. So we just take a little break. That's our first tip when reading a paragraph. Second, we need to connect to the next line. I noticed that connecting to the next line sometimes messes some people up, and I'm going to tell you what I mean. When you get to the end of a line, there's usually not a period. The sentence keeps going on to the next line. The period's there, but if we keep reading, look, there's no period, so I need to keep going. We only stop for the periods, not when we get to ends of the line, because then you're going to break up the paragraph in the wrong places. So make sure that you connect one line to the next when you read by quickly moving your eyes. Sometimes it's a little tricky, but with practice, we can get better at it. So these are some tips for reading a paragraph. Pause for those periods and keep moving your eyes onto the next line. Okay, let's start reading, Super Scholars. So I am going to pull up this paragraph. It's the very first one that should be stapled, the cat and the rat. So it's the one right on top. So there's a lot of words here. But lucky for us, the majority of these words are going to follow the clue that a closed-in vowel says it's short sound. Well, there's a couple that don't follow that rule, so I'm going to talk to you guys about those right now. It's C's, A, the, and to. So those are the 4 words that we're going to look at real quick. So this word, sees, these E's together say E, E. That is a vowel team. So another one of the sounds that a vowel makes. So this word is going to be sees. This A right here, it's just lonesome by itself. So it's just going to say its name and its name alone. A, that's all it's going to say. Down here we talked about the yesterday. It's totally read different than we would think, but THE is the. And then we have this little friend right here, to. The O's not closed in, so it's going to say a different sound. TO we say as to. Okay, I just wanted to point those out to you guys real quick before we started reading. Our strategy when we read today is going to be, as we move through the sentences, we're going to underline the vowels to bring extra attention to them when we read. So I'm going to give you an example. This first sentence I would read, Cam is it's a different one, cat. I'm making sure to underline the vowels so I can really pay attention and say their correct sound. So here, I want you to come up to this first sentence and follow along with me. Cam is a cat. Let's keep going. Cam sees a rat. Keep going. The rat is not his pal. When we went from the to rat, did you connect to the next line? Did you continue reading with your voice? That was one of our tips. Okay, I want you to follow along with me, even if you're having a hard time reading. Just follow along and try the best you can. Here we go. The rat ran on Cam's mat. We're pausing because there's a period. So now let's do this last sentence all together. Make sure if you're marking with your pen, that's awesome, or just make sure you're really following along with your fingers so your eyes can see. Here we go. Last one. Cam ran to the rat. So we have all these short sounds that are being said because look at all these closed-in vowels. We have so many consonants closing that door and making the vowel say its short sound. Okay, our last thing all together is we're going to read these last 3 lines, but I'm not going to make any markings. We're just going to read them all together as you follow along on your page. Okay, here we go. The rat ran and hid in a hat. Cam did not run to the rat. Cam will nap on his mat. The end. So we were reading that paragraph pretty slowly to make sure that we were reading accurately that key word we saw in our learning goal. Accurately means we're focusing to read every word just as it should be read. It's okay if we go slow because we're going for accuracy. Okay, Super Scholars. So we read this paragraph all together using our knowledge of short vowel sounds and making sure we could clearly identify every vowel so we could decode what sound it made. So what you're going to do for me now to show me how you're using your short vowel sounds and decoding detective skills, you are going to choose one of these 3 tasks to show me your knowledge skills. So this is a progression of the skills we've been working on all week. 1 star is you are going to practice your short vowel words. If you still need practice just with individual words to focus specifically, that's totally okay. That is where you're at and that is where it needs your focus. Or you can move on to 2 stars, which is the sentences we practiced yesterday. If you just want to take it 1 sentence at a time and focus on a group of words together, then go for it and do your best with the sentences. The last step would be our 3 stars, which means you would choose a paragraph. Any of the paragraphs out of the packet I gave you and practice using your knowledge to read the paragraph accurately. Whichever level you choose, you're going to take a video and send it to me where I can see you practicing your choice. Remember, we're not just going to choose the super easy one. We are going to choose the one that is going to grow our brains and that through hard work will make us better readers. So you can think for yourself or ask your parents to help you decide, which star level should I choose today that will help me do my best and grow my brain? We are doing words, sentences, or choosing a paragraph. Whatever one you choose, every single stage, you will be using your decoding detective skills. These are going to be used the whole year, so we're getting our brains ready to look for all those clues. Okay, 2nd grade, make a smart choice for yourself and take that video so I can see all your detective skills.